I did speak with him on Friday. So, and his wife was with him. I mean, nothing life-threatening right now. It's just some health issues he's dealing with. So, if you will, just keep him in your prayers. He'll be back with us for long. So, but he said, tell y'all guys hello. So, all right, we're going to get started. Tonight's going to be a little more informal than what we've been doing. We're going to go over some things since our season does start tomorrow. Some private schools, most all the private schools are starting tomorrow. So we're going to do some informal stuff tonight. If you have a question, just pop on real quick and we'll try to answer it as we go down the list here. If I leave something out and you need to have it answered, feel free to ask it. There's no right or wrong or stupid questions. That'll get us all on the same page. First of all, the state clinic is online. Make sure you go watch it in its entirety. You cannot click on it and let it run. I found that out the hard way. You've got to go frame by frame, and then they give you that certificate. You have to click on it there at the end. So go ahead and get that. The state test will be coming up soon. We'll try to get together in groups if we can to take the state test. Remember, you've got to make 85 or above to be able to call varsity baseball. There are some things I can do with the state. If somebody does not do as well as we want them to, we can, and I hate to use this term, pull some strings to get you eligible to play umpire baseball. You probably wouldn't be eligible for the playoffs, but we can get you situated. So they will do that with us. If you're a first-year official, first-year umpire, make sure you get up with Melissa Knight. If you're going to register, if you hadn't already registered, she'll not charge you, so to speak. I think you still have to pay your insurance, which is what, $21? Anybody know the price of that? I believe the insurance is $21. So
it's $31, Mike.
What, John?
$31 is
$31. Okay. So I know you had to pay your insurance, but she'll waive any kind of registration fees. If you've already registered, if you're a first-year umpire or first-year official in our organization, you can call her and let her know that you went ahead and registered and paid, and they'll roll it over till next season, and you won't have to pay. But you got to contact Melissa Knight at the High School Athletic Association, and she'll take care of that. And she usually sends me an email. I need everybody to go on Arbiter. If you do not have a picture of yourself, your beautiful self on Arbiter, please try to take a nice picture. Don't take it with people in the background or what have you. Get up against the wall if you can. Put a nice picture on the Arbiter account. I think Dragonfly also has a place for one. So to give you an update on Dragonfly, we've been back and forth. Arbiters now has come up with some different things they want to try. It's kind of two vendors fighting back and forth with each other right now. We've had many Dragonfly tutorials. We've been on WebExes with them, Zoom calls. They're trying their best. So the state's going to present both cases and see which way to go. So we'll know where we're going probably this summer. But Arbiter right now is the scheduling format that we're going to use. You may start getting emails or some things from me for Dragonfly. That's because I'm experimenting with it like everybody else and just trying to see what we can do with it. To me, my personal opinion, it's a very busy website. If you've been on there and tried to click on all that stuff, it's very, very busy. And when I mean busy, it's too hard for me to understand sometimes. If you got closeouts, make sure you go ahead and get those up to date. Remember, you can close out the whole day. You can close out part of the day. And you can also do miniature closeout, what I call them, an hour or two here or there if you got a doctor's appointment or something like that. And that helps me when I start scheduling. Because, guys, to be honest with you, any supervisor, any assigner, when he goes on there and starts clicking on schedules and putting you in a game and all of a sudden you can't take the game because something's come up, I mean, they don't get real upset, but it causes problems when you got to start rearranging people, okay? Also, when you do get an assignment, and I hope we got Arbiter fixed if you're not getting a text message, please let me know, and I'll try to get what I can fixed on that end. We've been talking to Arbiter this last week, trying to get everybody's text message back up to date. But if you have an assignment, guys, please don't let it lay there. It tells me when you looked at it. It tells me you've been notified that you got one. But don't let it lay there for 72 hours or 48 hours, and then it's going to decline it for you after that. And then it's going to put a red mark. It's going to block you on all your dates for that day. So make sure if you're going to decline it, just decline it. I'm not going to ask you any questions. I'm not going to fuss with you about it or fight with you, but I'd rather you decline it than not do anything with it and it sits there for 2 or 3 days. Okay. If we do have rainouts, I will try to text those to you as soon as they let me know. Most of the coaches and ADs are pretty good about that. So if we do have rainouts or any problems, I'll try to give you a heads up before you have to leave your house. I usually know what time most of you need to leave or what time you're going to leave work to get to the particular school or venue. If there's any question or doubt, and you've heard this many times before, call that school and talk to an adult. Most schools you call to now, they may have a student answering the phone. Talk to an adult or speak to the AD and ask them what the status of that game is. And they'll let you know. Communication is very important, guys, not just through technology, through email, text message, but picking up the phone, calling somebody. Text your partners or your partner. Make sure you got things straight. It's the same date, same time, same place, where you're going to meet. I will challenge you this year. Don't ride together. Please do not ride together. I'll tell you a situation we had Friday. We had 3 umpires ride together to a baseball game. This is a collegiate game. Guess what happened at that game? They didn't play because one of them tested positive for COVID. Because they had to be tested when they got on site. So all 3 rode together. One of them tested positive. So what that did to the whole crew? That threw the whole thing in a monkey wrench. So be very careful. And I'll talk more on COVID in just a minute. Dress, John, if you'll pull these things up, the shirt. This is our new shirt. This is 2023 when we're going to switch over totally. We can still use the navy blue shirt and the black shirt, the regular black shirt, but in 2023, these are the shirts we'll be using. Okay? It's black with the gray gussets, the gray panels on it, and then the light blue, or I call it sky blue. It's not really light blue. And with the black gussets on it, or black panels on it. 2023, this is our transition shirt. Now, can I wear them now? Yes, as long as everybody's dressed the same. I know the Atlantic Coast down in Wilmington, they're already wearing these shirts. So we switched over a couple years ago. This is the basic jacket with the black with white stripes. Now this is the go back, John, to that jacket. This is the heavier jacket. Don't call it the pullover. Make sure it's got the white stripes on it. All right, John. What you got next? The pants are the charcoal gray, the dark gray. We call them the Smitty pants. We call them stretchy pants. But if you do buy pants lately, just get the darkest pair of gray pants you can find. Not the heather gray, but make sure they're dark charcoal gray. Black ball bags or gray ball bags. That'll be fine. And of course, the black belt. Can you find, okay, the hats. Gear Ref is the only one that sells the hat on the left. They're the only ones that sell the hat with the North Carolina High School Athletic Association logo. If we can get those, we can get them. If not, then we'll wear the basic plain hat. There's no deal with that. Go back to pants again. Those on the left, those are the dark grays. Those heather grays, don't wear those anymore. All right, go ahead.
Mike, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, man.
Are heather gray out altogether?
Do I now?
Are we not going to use heather gray at all, even this year?
You can use it this year. This is for transition in 2023.
All right,
Okay.
just want to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
these two shirts here are default shirts for this year and 22. The Navy still here, and then of course the basic black. I will remind you, and guys, we're one of very few that are still allowing the navy blue shirt. I think they're still wearing it in the western part of the state a little bit. But that's a different animal up there. The half shell jacket, John, the slip, the sleeves off.
Hold on. That's going to take me 2 seconds to get to it.
You're fine.
Ken, while we're waiting, Ken Kaysen asked, how many private schools are you assigning this year?
How many we got right now? All of them in Cumberland County. Aaron, can you answer that? Aaron helped me with that schedules. How many private schools we got right now?
Give me a second and I'll take a look.
Okay. And they may not last. I'm just.
Ken knows that question. He knows how many is in that county.
This is the half. I call this the half sleeve shirt. It's a shell of the pullover. The sleeves do zip off. It's very lightweight. It's a quarter zip. This is great. You can wear this shirt or this jersey here on the plate if you wanted to. They do not make the solid black ones anymore. I think you now have to get the white stripe on them.
That's correct.
Majestic was the last one to make this shirt. This is a Smitty shirt, right? Yeah, this is a Smitty jersey. Majestic quit making them. I do have 6 of them, though, if anybody be interested in buying one. So, all right. Shoes, don't worry about shoes. Shoes, black shoes. If you got white on them, that's fine. Whatever you're comfortable makes your feet feel good. And of course, there's your basic stuff there. Okay. Any other question on the uniforms? Anybody?
No hats under the hockey style helmet, right?
Right. And while I'm thinking about, I'll get that in a minute. We'll go COVID. Okay. With your schedule, guys, if you have a problem with your schedule, call me and let's be man to man. Talk to me. If you got an issue with your schedule, call me. Don't let it fester. I'm a big guy. We're big men. We got our big boy pants on. We'll talk about it. We'll get it straight. Don't let it fester there and you get mad and you go say something to somebody else and it just causes a problem. I've seen enough of that in the last couple of weeks. So let's talk about it, okay? If you're seeing this coach too many times, and I've told coaches you may see somebody 12 times this year. It's just trying to keep people local, trying to keep them have to travel so much. Ejections versus DQs. I'll tell you, like I've told other groups, everything's an ejection until it does what? Until it gets to me. Everything's an ejection until it gets to me. And then we'll talk about it and we'll decide what we're going to do. So everything's an ejection. It may be a DQ offense, but we'll talk about it first and then we'll get it straight. Okay? That's the best way to handle things at a ball game. Don't try to decipher whether it's a DQ or ejection. Just tell every coach it's ejection right now until I talk to Mike, and we'll get it straight. Okay? Please adhere to that. But call me if you do have any one of those situations or any problems at a ball game. Please call me. Verbally call me. Text me first. See if I'm available, and then call me. Now, if it's an extreme emergency, you can call Aaron, and everybody should have Aaron's number. Aaron will probably know where I'm at 24/7, besides my wife. I ain't married him. So, but he will get to me or find somebody that can find me and get me a message, and I'll get back to you. He is not going to make any decisions. He's not going to cancel any ball games. He's not going to tell you a DQ or ejection. He's just going to tell you, hey, I'll get up with Mike or I'll find him. Okay? So that's what Aaron does. Aaron helps us with the computer stuff. He puts all our IT stuff along with John. Aaron puts the schedules in the computer. We work together very closely on that. So he'll help us out all he can, just like John does. Now, and I know this is a sore subject. I'm so sick of talking about it. COVID. And I know Michael Curry and Jay tired of hearing it too, because they have to deal with it also. But guys, you're going to wear a mask. Okay? When you umpire, you're going to wear the mask. If you have a doctor's waiver, it ain't going to do you no good in our association or the state of North Carolina. Mark Drybus has already said, you're going to wear the mask. Is it cumbersome? Is it a problem? I wore it for 3 days now and I ain't had no issue with it. I wore it during basketball season. I ain't had no issue with it. Do I like it? Be honest with you, no. But we're going to wear them. If you go to a school that they're not wearing masks and you feel uncomfortable, and this goes back to John, he and I've talked about this, and I'm not throwing him under the bus. But if we have schools that are not wearing them, then I'll talk to them. We'll make concessions who goes over there and works. If you've had the vaccine, here's the rationale, what they've told me about the vaccine. The vaccine does not keep you from wearing the mask. All it does, if you're exposed to it, then it keeps you from being quarantined. That's what I've been told. And Mike, you and Jay I don't know what y'all been told over there when y'all's work, but the vaccine doesn't keep you from wearing a mask. And I've tried that one, guys. It don't work.
Yeah, you still have to wear the mask even with the vaccine.
Yeah. So, and I've been tested 3 times this weekend. I was tested Friday, Saturday, and today. So if you want to call bad enough, we're going to do the little things. We're going to take care of it. Our next clinic, and guys, this is the link to our clinic all the time. It won't change. Our next one is going to be March 21st and 28th. If you're a new umpire, if you just joined our organization, then, and John, I'm going to throw this at you. Maybe you can tell me yes or no. The 21st of March at 8 o'clock, can we be live?
I think, but give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
March 21st, you said?
Yeah, we got a regular clinic at 9 o'clock. And then we want to do the new umpires or
That works.
That'll work. Okay. So anybody that's new to our organization, either side, AC umps or SSOA, 8 o'clock on the 21st, we're going to have you on here. Okay. We got some things we'll go over with you. Okay. As far as playoffs, the playoff schedules that we had as far as state finals, crews and stuff, guys, all that has been changed. The state has redone those things, so we're having to wait and see what they come out with. I think basically what we were supposed to have will roll over to another year, the following year. So we just have to wait and see. All right, Aaron, you got anything? Did I miss anything? I got everything. All right, anybody got anything?
The question was, any field clinics coming or scheduled?
I've got field clinics scheduled at Topsail Island. What's Chuck Price to go down there? He can go fishing. So see, we're working with Cape Fear High School to have some over there. He said we can get over there anytime we want. I went over there last week, and of course we didn't have enough boats to go out there on his field. So we're going to set something up for Cape Fear High School in March. Okay. Probably be the latter of March. Tomorrow's March 1st.
Hey, Mike, where is the state clinic located? What website's that on?
I posted it in the chat, and I'll post it again right now.
Thank you.
Gives you a direct link.
Mike.
Yeah, man.
It's Chuck. Just again to clarify, we attend one of these private school games for baseball. Of course, I'm going to wear my mask whether I have to or not, even though I've got the vaccine. But if anybody there, players, coaches, anyone out there on the field in the dugout is not wearing one, then that's their privilege.
Right now, I've only got one school that said they would not wear them. And
Is it too soon to ask who that might be?
Sandhills.
Oh, okay.
They're the only ones that called and said they would more than 99% sure they weren't going to wear them. Now, I've talked to him about their testing protocol. Are they doing temperatures or anything? He didn't give me no answers. I'll get back on him this week. That's the only team right now I've heard it weren't going to wear one.
Well, you probably already know this, but for what it's worth, you know, public schools are going to check your temperature and all that stuff, you know, before you go in, as we did the other night. And I can tell you how I feel about this vaccine. I've had both shots, got through it well. It just makes you feel more comfortable when you're out there around a group of people. You know, at least you feel like you've got some protection.
Right.
And hope that's true.
Well,
So, for what it's worth.
Another question, Mike, was supervisor assigning fees.
okay, I sent those out earlier in the season. Probably January they went out. I sent those invoices or those contracts out, which you had to sign and get back to me. Remember, the signing fee this year is only $50. Game fees are $74.50 for public schools and $75 for private schools. That's varsity. It's $65 for JVs. And for this year, we're going to leave the middle schools in Federal at $61. And that's just for this year. Because, guys, everybody's strapped for $1. These schools haven't made any money, so.
Mike, you asked about how many private schools between Atlantic Coast and Southeast. I think I put in roughly about a dozen private schools, roughly.
How many?
Roughly about 12
Okay.
to 14 between the two, give or take.
That's down from the past years because some of them we hadn't heard from. So. Anybody else?
The other questions about gator and mask, I just looked at the manual. For us, gators are acceptable, but for players, the manual doesn't say specifically for right now. So when it doesn't say specifically, it's required to be a mask, not a gator.
All right. I've had numerous questions on the gators, and I've answered it wrong twice. I know sports that are in motion, basketball, football, soccer, what else? Lacrosse, they cannot wear the gator. Now, my rationale the other day, baseball should be allowed to wear the gator because we're not what? We're not grabbing, we're not running around trying to tackle somebody or hit somebody or check somebody or whatever. But I've also
Football
been
can wear gators.
gators were illegal.
Football is not supposed to be wearing gators. It's very clear on the manual. Football is no gators.
Yeah.
Mask only.
I'm still waiting on clarification for baseball and softball. But I've been told twice that I was wrong in the way I answered it, but we'll see. Best thing is to tell me I gotta have a mask on.
And Mike, it doesn't say anything specifically for baseball.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, are officials covered with the gator instead of the mask?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Same with the gator though. If it's a real thin one. Right. Y'all see that one?
Yeah.
You can actually see through it. And what they're telling, if you can see through your gator, when you stretch it, you have to double it over. So This past weekend, I wore a gaiter and a mask.
What color does it have to be, Mike?
That's up to you. Black, gray, blue. I got a light blue one over here. I mean, that's up to you. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'm not going to. We're doing it for protection. I ain't getting it to be pretty with it. Whatever, you know. It's like the one in the fire department. I was in navy blue. So I don't know. I have to get one every call we go on because I steal one. So. All right. Any other thing, John?
Before you leave, I'm still missing I'm missing about 5 or 10 people who didn't click on the link for attendance, and the meeting went so fast. So guys, and I was involved in it. So I have not been able to check. So if you didn't fill out the form, I had no clue you're here. The ones on the phone, I'll get you. But if I'm putting the link for the form one more time, but I have not checked behind. So if you hadn't filled out the form, I don't know you're here.
Yes, this is a Purnell sweatshirt I have on. You give me a shirt, I will wear your shirt. You give me a hat, I'll wear your hat.
Mike Syntac has a question.
All right, go ahead.
Never mind, you already answered it. Thank you.
You welcome Mike to our group. Where are you from, Mike? California or where?
Yeah, Southern California.
He moved all the way to the East Coast.
All the way to Charlotte. What a change. Orange County, California to Charlotte. It's a wonderful change.
Glad to have you. I see Mr. Lister. You want to introduce yourself?
Yep, Mike, thank you. Came from, I too was in Southern Cal for a couple of years, but from New Jersey, where I umpired last.
Can y'all tell? In Jersey. Yeah, I was in San Diego last year, and I brought these two guys back. That's what it was. So we're glad to have them. So anybody else new on here? Any other newbies? We're glad to have these guys and welcome, guys. I mean, we got a good bunch here. So, all right, any other questions, John? Told you keep it short and sweet.
Gilbert Johnson, Jeffrey Quick, and Harry Cook, I got you. So you don't need to hang on. The other 3 of you who I did not just name, you need to hang on when we're done.
Okay, Mike, I told you I'd give you rule books. Listro, I said I'd get you that PDF file, right? Yeah, I'll get that back on there.
All right, thank you.
Let's see. McAvoy, you still on here? Greg McAvoy.
He's on, but he's got to unmute himself.
He's got that file. I'll get it. I got it too. I'll send it to you. Anything else, John?
Everything is on YouTube. If you miss some clinics, I'll post a link in 30 seconds.
Wish I was as smart as you sometime.
Everything
no, sir,
else.
I can speak to that. You don't want to be on his level. Trust me.
Let me ask, how did football go last week?
Well, I worked Friday night. We worked in a nice, mist in the air. My game went fine. I had Terry Sanford and Westover. They did a couple of things. Westover actually had a dressing room for us. I did not. I went in for just a minute, but I was already dressed, so I came back outside. Had no problems with the players or coaches on the sidelines. They stayed away from me, and they stayed away from the chain crew. So my game Friday night went pretty well. We didn't have any major issues with people all over everybody, or at least
what was
the
the protocol when you got there? What did y'all have to do?
There was a lady waiting for us. She took our temperature. and then filled out that form with all the questions. And once we completed that, then we were led inside. But that's all we had to go through as far as getting into the stadium.
Okay.
Or inside the gate was just our temperature and answer a form. I mean, I was told, and you probably were too, that once you have taken both shots, take that card with you just to let people know, hey, okay, I've had it. I've had the vaccine for what it's worth.
I put it on my phone. I got it on my phone.
You got it on your phone. Well, I mean, I got the hard copy with me. I keep it with my license, my driver's license, and that was it. I mean, that was it. Like I say, I told the coach, I mean, baseball will be a little different, but I told the coach on my sideline, you know, my protocol, not to be ugly, coach, do your job. Just don't be around me. Stay away from where I'm standing. Make sure you keep that distance and give my chain crew some room. And, you know, we're just not going to crowd around like they have tried to in the past. And Terry Sanford's sideline was, you know, had no problem, and they did it all night long.
Good.
So for me, we had a good ball game. It was a pretty good ball game. Just didn't have any real, not on my sideline or getting in. Like I said, they actually opened a temporary classroom for us to go in, but we all came dressed. Just a reminder, it reminds me of something. They had a cooler for us of drinks, but we were told, bring your own refreshments.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing provided to us on the sideline. And I mean, I actually took some bottled water to the sideline, you know, down to the field. So if you want something during the game, you're probably going to need to take your own, you know, and stay out of the dugout, just like we stayed away from the bench area. You know.
See, that'd be another thing during baseball season. If you want to take your, and I know I've preached against it years past, but if you want to take your cooler and sit in the dugout or in proximity to the dugout, that's fine. But they don't want us going in dugouts getting water and stuff. And
that's what I did Friday night. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Chuck. Somebody brought up a question about baseballs. Guys, we're still trying to get an answer what we're going to do with baseballs.
Yeah,
We're going to keep them in our bag and throw them out, or they're going to throw them, whatever. We're still trying to work on that one.
Put your batting glove on, take them out.
hey Mike.
Yeah, man.
This year, have you notified the coaches about the NFA stamp and the Nazi stamp? I know it was supposed to go in last year, but we didn't really have a season last year.
Yeah, if that baseball does not have the Nazi stamp and the National Federation stamp on it, it is illegal. You can't use it. And if neither team has them, you cannot play. We know the home team supplies baseballs. If they don't have them, they can't play. Now, if the visiting team's got a case of them, they want to use them, they can use them. Don't play a game with those baseballs. And coaches and AEDs have been told that. So I think we had two games last spring that we did get in, or they were scheduled. We didn't play because they had the wrong baseballs. So
Does that make it a forfeit on their part, Mike? Or
no, we're gonna redo things. So
hey Mike, I can give you some advice from lacrosse season. Guys, as soon as you get there, get your temperature taken and all of the questionnaires. Find that person and go ahead and get that done before you get dressed, because that way you're not fighting with people in line to get in.
Right.
Because it takes a while once people get there, because everyone's got to have their forehead scanned. They got to read each question. You got to answer. So we found that the most effective way is as soon as you get to a site, I know Mike's told us this in the past, is he wants you to let the AD know that someone's there anyway. Go ahead and get your temperature taken and answer your questions as soon as you get there. That will save you a headache. The other thing, and we just had this happen last week, take your temperature before you leave home. Because if you get there and you got a temperature, they ain't gonna let you in. And Mike would appreciate all the, I'm sure, all the notice in advance that he can get to try to get someone else there. And we had an official this past week. They went into work, they were fine, and they just took the temperature right before they left to go to a ball game, and they were running a fever. And it allowed us time to get a new official there. So take it, save yourself some time, and go ahead and get that. Take it yourself before you go.
All right, Eric Cole, you asked about middle school baseballs. You'll probably find a lot of them playing with high school baseballs that have been handed down. So they're not handcuffed by the Federation stamp or the NOXI stamp.
Now, Mike, have you got clarification that we actually are going to play middle school ball?
Yeah, I know they are in Cumberland County. We put the schedules in. Now, Sampson County, Chuck, you may help me there. I'll take and talk to Mr. Lewis.
I haven't, but the last I heard, they were not going to try to play middle school. Now, of course, that can change, but the last I heard, they were not going to play middle school over here. They've had, of course, you know, they've been in school all year.
Right.
City of Clinton, I know, has had some issues recently at one of the elementary schools. So until you hear, I would say no, they're not playing.
Once again, guys, we just got to be very flexible. I mean, it's just the times we're in right now. So,
At least the curfew was lifted. Because I'm telling you, 4 o'clock varsity games are pains in the butts.
4:30 painted, but we don't mind.
And the other thing is when you have to end a game by a certain time so that they can get home.
Just be very flexible, guys. Be ready to adjust on the fly because that's just what we're going through right now. If you believe Dr. Fauci, we're going to be in mask for a long time. But that's all I'll say on that. So, anybody else?
Hey, Fauci's like the North Carolina weather.
You better hush. Don't you say nothing else. Mike and I'll talk privately on that one. So, Mike Pravat. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, sounds good. We'll crank it up this week, guys. If you got any questions or any comments, make sure you get them to me. Make sure you get your attendance. John will taking care of that. And he'll also, I think, did you post to YouTube again?
I'll post it again, and they go up every about 45 minutes to an hour after our meetings. So I get them up that night before I go to bed.
Okay, he does a lot, and I appreciate you, John.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I'll post the link, and I'll post the state clinic link.
All right. So if nothing else, I'll see you March 21st, 9 o'clock. Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
If your phone number ends in 910, last two's 30, 910, last two's 52, or 910, last two is 26, hold for station identification. The only ones on the phone that I need to get. I just posted the state rules clinic, and the clinic for all of them is coming down now.
In the chat.
Yep. They're both in the chat.